Okay, so this is free training, free Intune training provided by howtomanagedevices.com or how to manage devices community. My name is Anoop, and this is our day 11. If you have not attended the previous trainings, please go and check out the recordings available in the YouTube channel. Right, there is a playlist where you can revisit all the recordings and understand if you are missing something, right? And if you have any questions, ask the same in the forums, right? So that would be easy and helpful to track. Okay, so getting back to business, right? On Friday we have discussed about Intune Windows apps, right? How to sync Intune Windows apps from Windows Store for Business, right? And we have created some applications and deployed to our Intune managed devices, Windows devices, right? So we did an uninstallation and installation. So we did an installation of mail application, default mail application, and installation of company portal application, right? So let's check that status, right? What is the status of those uninstallation? So this is the mail application which we did uninstall, right? So this was an uninstall. See, as you can see over here, we did an uninstall, right? And this was an uninstall. And if you go to overview, you can see a dashboard over here, and in the dashboard it says not installed, 3 successful, right? So not installed means probably uninstalled, right? Okay, so let's see what is there in device install status. In the device install status, we can see from 3 devices it got uninstalled, right? We can check and confirm that, right? Okay, and we have deployed another application that was, if you want to see which are the deployed applications, you just need to refresh this, right? And you can click on assign, right? I don't know, the click option is not there. Okay, this is only sort option is there only for the name, I think. Okay, at the moment. So you can see this one is deployed and the other one is company portal. We installed this application. This was an installation, right? So let me go back to this and show you the assignment was required, right? And this was deployed to all the Windows devices in this tenant, right? So you remember this dynamic AAD group we created for all Windows devices. Okay, so we did that, and you can see device install status 0203004. All these devices company portal got installed, and on Friday we checked this device. This is, I think, 01 device, right? Let me check. This is 01 device, and in 01 device we couldn't find this application getting installed. Then I realized that why it is not getting installed. Then I checked who am I, right? Who am I? So even though this is an Azure AD join device, this device in I have logged into this device as a local user, not an Azure AD user, right? That is why Intune 01 is not getting that particular application deployment, right? Okay. So for example, if I go to other devices, right? This is, I think, Intune 3, right? And if I can go full screen, this is Intune 3, and this is hybrid. Sorry, this is Azure AD join device, right? As you can see, this is Azure AD join device, and I have logged in from with using my Azure AD username and password, right? into this device. So ideally, in this device, you should be able to see the company portal. And as per the report, it's already there, right? So if I go over here, you can see the company portal application is here, right? So it got deployed automatically, right? Okay, it's signing in and loading, and okay, so you can see company portal application. So my recommendation would be, if you are managing devices with Intune, always install company portal. This is like our software sender in SCCM world, right? So I would always recommend to install that, and users can go over here in the settings, right, in the settings option below. I don't know whether you are able to see it or not, and sync if you want to get the policies immediately, right? You can do Users can do that, I think, right? So you can check that out with the normal user, and let me know like whether the users are able to sync or not, right? Okay, so other thing which we want to check is mail application, right? Mail mail application. What is the mail and calendar? So it is asking to install it, right? So it got uninstalled. That is why it is asking to install it, right? Otherwise it should show over here, right? Okay, so both the things done for 0. This is what? This is which mission? 03. Okay, 03 Azure AD join device. I have logged in with Azure AD username and password, and application deployment, required deployment worked, and uninstallation worked, right? So let's minimize this and check some of the other devices, right? So this is, I think, Azure AD registered devices, right? So let me, I don't know why it's not going full screen. Anyways, okay. So let me bring up the favorite command prompt over here. So this is Intune 04. And if I say, who am I? It will show this devices, my BYO device, and I have logged in with local username and password, right? Because this is not Azure AD joined device, this is Azure AD registered device. This is 04, right? Okay, so let me see what has happened. What happened over here in the company portal, right? Company portal is installed, right? That is fine, that is working, and you can see that there was a, normally there should be a pin icon like this for the mail application, right? This is my zero, I think this is which mission? This is 01 mission, where we have not uninstalled the mail, right? The application didn't and got uninstalled because I this is a Azure AD joined device, and but I logged in with local user. Okay, but in this device, 0 04 device, this is Azure AD registered device, and in this the mail application icon is not there, so that got uninstalled. Okay, so in this also two things worked. Okay, and we have seen Azure AD joined and Azure AD registered devices. We have seen the same thing, right? So we can confirm which are our devices by going back to Azure AD portal, right? So Azure AD Intune 01 is Azure AD joined device, Intune 03 is Azure AD joined device, and 04 and 02 are Azure AD registered devices. Okay, so going back to the Intune portal, you can see. Okay, so this is completed. This is fine, right? So we are done with the exercise of syncing Microsoft Store for Business applications with Intune and deploying those applications, required deployment and install, what do you call, required deployment and uninstall deployment, right? So now what we can do is basically probably we can do a available deployment over here, right? I'm going to deploy one node, right? And I'm going to deploy this as an available application, right? So go to assignments, go to properties, and go to assignments over here, okay, and say for the required we selected groups from here, right? And for available we can select groups from here, right? And for the uninstallation you need to select the groups from here, okay? So for the available I'm going to select the application over here, sorry, group over here, and I'm going to say HTMD Windows devices, right? So what is the meaning of available application? If user wants that particular application, he can go into company portal and install it, right? So I have added the group of all Windows devices, and we will see like whether it's okay, or do we need to assign this to user group rather than device group, right? Okay, so I'm saving that, and application saved, and the deployment is available now, right? So let's see what happens, right? So let me see how I can resync, right? This is Azure AD join device. So this is my company portal. You don't need to open company portal to sync. I will give you a tip. Right click on this, right? And you can directly sync, right? This is pretty useful, right? You don't need to open company portal. You just need to right click on the icon in the taskbar, and you can sync the device, right? So it started syncing. Okay, so let me check which mission is this one, right? CMD and host name. This is Intune 02, right? So let me minimize this, and let me show one more thing over here before we finish, right? So we have done Microsoft Store for Business, okay? And now today I wanted to show you another way of application deployment which is supported in Intune. Before I forget, right, I need to show you one more thing. So I don't know how many of you attended my initial session on Saturday about a comparison between Intune and SCCM. And over there, and our initial day 1 and day 2 sessions, we have discussed about uh, Intune agents, right? So Intune basically uses MDM agent, uh, that is by default inbuilt in Windows 10 OS, right? You don't need to install anything. You don't need to do anything. It will be automatically installed, right? Okay, but I have mentioned about Intune management extension also. That is an extra application installed in some particular scenarios, right? I wanted to check whether that application is already here or not. Okay, so as you can see, that extra application is not here. All right, there is nothing called Microsoft Intune management extension. So we will come to that in today's or tomorrow's session, right? So let's understand that first, right? Okay, I went full screen, and now I'm getting difficulties to come back. Okay, give me a sec. Okay, so yeah, so that was the tip I just provided to make you understand. So there is no Intune management extension agent over here. If you don't know what is Intune management extension, don't worry about that. We will cover that in upcoming days or sessions, right? Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to add a new application, right, into Intune, right? I'm going to select this as a line of business application. So before that, right, let me make it easy, right? So click on Windows. We are dealing with Windows now, right? Click on Windows, and then you will be able to see only Windows over here, right? And it will be easy to manage in that case, right? So click on Add Now, right? And the entire menu option got changed. This is only Windows application deployment types, app types supported by Intune, right? So we have we have seen this already, right? Microsoft App Store we have seen, right? Now I'm going to show you line of business application now. Okay, so what is line of business application? Line of business application is basically the applications, MSI application which is supported by MDM stack, Windows 10 MDM stack, right? So many application like exe applications, right, and all the other application types, right? If you want to do scripting of MSI application, if you want to install MST with if you want to call MST with MSI application installation, those things are not supported by MDM component within Windows 10, right? The only supported Windows applications are MSI, APPX, right? MSIX, and those are the applications only supported by natively supported by MDM channel, right? In within Intune. Okay, is that confusing? Probably we will go through the exercise and you will understand, right? Okay, so click on line of business application, and don't get me wrong, there are you can install, you can deploy exe applications, you can deploy complex MSI application with lot of files, right? In this type of application you can deploy only one file, one MSI file, right? If you have more than one MSI file, I think it's not possible, right? Okay, so you can install multiple MSI files. If your MSI package has like lot of files, you need to use this method, Windows App Win32 method, that we will cover in the future videos, right, or future sessions. Okay, so line of business application, click on select, right, and select application package, right? So it is asking me to select the source. I'm going to select the source over here. So you need to check all these things. These are blank at the moment, right? If I go and open up my source file, I don't know where I kept it. Let me search sources, right? This is my package source. Basically, if you are from SCCM world, you will understand it, right? I'm going to select 7zip, right? And let me confirm whether this is the correct one or not. Okay, this is, let me confirm that, right? Okay, so this is the one, 7zip. Okay. Okay, so this is the one. I'm going to select the only MSI, and only this MSI is going to get uploaded, right? Don't worry about icon. Anyways, icon is not going to get uploaded, right? So that is why I said, like, if you have only one file, then you can use the one MSI, you can MSI file in your package, then you can use this method. If you have some MSTs over here, like SCCM deployments, right? Then you won't be able to use this method, right? Okay, open, and it already automatically populated all the metadata details directly from the MSI database, right? So it got the version of 7zip and application version, what is the size, right? Is it MAM enabled? Like, there are a lot of applications which are MAM enabled for Intune, right? So this is not MAM enabled, right? And dual purpose, I will come to that in a bit, probably for the future, in the future videos, right? Don't worry about that at the moment, right? Okay, click on OK, and it will automatically populate all these details, right? So I will say, as I normally mention, I will say like, okay, this is provide some good description. 7zip, 7zip, MSI. Okay, deployment. for all HTMD. Okay, so something like that. So user context, it's already populated, right? I don't know what who is the publisher, so probably I will select 7-zip itself. I don't remember what is the company name or something. So all these star marks, right? So you need to mandatory fill those things. Otherwise, the application, the Intune won't allow you to click next, right? So I have filled all the details which are required, and if you hover over here with your mouse, you would be able to see what does this mean, right? And if you want to add some command line options, you can do that, right? You can get the 7-zip command line from here, right? So these are the MSI supported command line parameters for 7-zip, right? This is Q. The Q is basically probably for silent install, right? And you can download 7-zip from here, right? 7-zip 7-zip.org, right? Okay. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to directly go next, right? And show us company portal. I can say probably this is yes, featured application. Probably let's see that, right? And I wanted to see whether I can upload the logo, right? This is software center kind of a scenario over here, right? Over here we are uploading a icon to software center, not software center for company portal, right? So that is what logo is, right? Upload a logo that is associated with this application, right? And it's mentioned it will be shown in company portal. Click on select, and let me go to icon and see like whether this icon is okay or not. Yeah, that is okay, right? So streaming upload, it's uploading already, right? Intune is uploading this icon now, and it got visible in the console, right? Click on next, and now the assignment part, right? Assignment. So you can make this as an available application. Whether if user wants, then probably he or she can install, right? That I'm going to make this as an available, right? And I'm going to click and if I can say correctly, um, Windows devices, deployed to the Windows devices, or you want to see it as a user or something. I don't know. If you want to see this as a user, probably you can select all. Okay, I will remove devices and I will add only Intune users, right? And click on next and finish the deployment, create the deployment. Now you can see the application is getting uploaded now, right? Uploaded now. It depends on the size of the application, how much time, and internet connectivity. Okay, so it says upload finished, right? It only took like, I don't know, within a minute it got uploaded, and you can see over here it's changed. Before it was showing there was a ribbon called like application is not ready or something like that, right? So application created, application saved, application upload finish, everything happened within a few seconds. But in your production environment, if you are uploading a 1 GB MSI file, this is a hypothetical situation, right? I don't think you will upload 1 GB MSI file. Okay, it is going to take time to upload, right? So you need to be patient, you need to wait. Depending on your internet connection, it will take time. Okay, so we will see the results probably tomorrow. Okay, today it's already 5 minutes to go. So if you have any questions, please unmute yourself and
Hello.
ask. Yeah,
Yes, sir. So there this side.
yeah.
So I have a question here. When you are selecting the package
Lot of
source, so you are
background noise, Dave. Okay. Yeah, it's fine.
is
You
it
can
fine now?
speak a bit louder.
Yeah. Is it fine now?
Yeah, better.
Yeah. when you select the package source, you have select it from the local computer, right? So
Yeah,
will it
that's correct.
work on the local system? Because as you said, from if you are taking a Intune subscription, you have to so automatically some storage kind of thing in Microsoft storage kind of thing will be there, right? To
So,
keep
so
the
there are
package.
two
No.
things. There are two things, right? One is package source, right?
Okay.
Package source. If you right, if you have a lab environment, right, SCCM lab
Okay.
environment, where do you keep all your package sources from? The packaging team will give you, for example, if you have a pre-prod environment in your office, right, organization, and if packaging team is providing you MSI applications, where they will keep the application, it will be in a file server, right? It will be in a file server,
Yeah.
and from there you will upload that uh, file to SCCM, right?
Yes.
So this is same thing, right? Source is your local drive, or you can use OneDrive in a modern world, right? OneDrive for business, or SharePoint or something, right? To store your source files. So these source files are coming from packaging team. Normally it should come from packaging team, right? And you,
Yeah.
during the upload process, right, you see an upload process
Okay.
over there, right? During the upload
Yeah.
process, these source files are uh, getting uploaded to that particular Azure storage. Okay, so this is the place, this is the time where it will automatically get uploaded to Azure storage, right? And
Okay.
it
Okay.
will
Then
it
yeah,
will
yeah. Then I got it.
yeah, then Azure storage will replicate, and the clients will get the source files from this particular Azure storage. Okay, does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. So I
Where can
I
we
got
see
it.
this Azure source file?
We
Like
can't see.
okay, something like in
We
the
don't
production
have
world.
access to do that.
Okay, we have like thousands of applications. So, like we need to know like how much space Intune is
This
using.
is this is free. If you have Intune license, you don't have any limitation. You can have 1 terabyte of application uploaded.
Okay, okay. Then storage part it will be not charged from Azure end.
No, so you need to be clear, right?
Mm-hmm,
So if you are using Intune,
mm-hmm,
and if you are using Intune application, right,
mm-hmm,
and you have uh, uploaded applications like this, right, using the same method which I showed, right,
mm-hmm.
that service is free with Intune license. It's cover all the costs are covered under Intune license cost, right? So you don't need to purchase additional Azure storage, unlike for example, if you are building a VM in Azure, you need to create a storage, right?
Yeah,
Azure
yeah,
storage account,
yeah.
and that will be charged. So this is a SaaS solution. That is a IaaS solution, infrastructure as a service
Yep,
solution,
yep.
right? This is a SaaS solution, software as a service solution,
Mm-hmm.
and the license comes with that particular storage for this application deployment and for PowerShell deployment, storage, and all those things. Does that make sense?
Okay, okay. Thanks. I didn't know this. Okay, thank you.
No worries, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Hi, Anup
Mohammed,
sir.
one more question.
Yeah,
Okay,
go
you
ahead.
can go
Yeah.
ahead.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So the question is when we created a application.
Mm-hmm.
So in that particular time, we have to do the assignment. Is it mandatory, or we can do it at
No, we can do it later.
in the lat?
No issues. Yeah,
Okay, fine. Yeah. Okay.
it
Yeah.
won't.
Hi, sir.
This is Ram.
Yeah, Ram, go
Hello.
ahead.
Yeah, hi. So this deployment, after we deploy the applications, so we need to sync it, right? We need login with that user ID and then sync it. Only then the application get synced with Azure portal or endpoint portal. So like SCCM, does it takes so normally
no, Ram, wait. So let let me tell you, like, let me understand it correctly, right? So what you mean by sync?
so from the info tab, if I go to info tab and if I sync it, only the application gets
Uh,
installed.
what do you mean by info tab? Where is the info tab?
No, in that access, work or school, when click
Oh,
on
okay. Okay. So you mean to say from the client side?
yeah, from the client side.
Okay. So it's the same mechanism, right? In like SCCM. If you are not speaking, can you please go on mute? Okay. So it's the same mechanism like SCCM, right? If you want the application immediately, you will ask user to go and sync, right? If you want
Yeah,
application like after 1 hour, or policy schedule after normal policy schedule, or policy interval, it will automatically come down, probably after 60 minutes or so, right?
yeah, right. So that so if we are not syncing, it takes some time as assigned in
Yeah,
the backend, right?
obviously, yeah, same.
I believe like I had given some time and it was not synced actually. So that's the thing I'm asking this
Yeah, so
question. So I
the sync depends on your type of the application, right? So if you are using Intune management extension, probably the sync is every 60 minutes, right? Okay. And if you are using a native MDM, probably the sync is more longer. Probably I have seen in some documentation it might take like 8 hours sometimes, right? So probably we can check that what is the sync time tomorrow, right? I'm not going to probably sync anything in my environment today, and we will see the documentation also what is the sync time. So I think I read this 1 year before or so, it was 8 hours, the default sync for the MDM application, but it could be changed now. I don't know, right? So it depends on the sync schedule.
yeah, I'm
Otherwise, you
also
can manually sync it.
okay. Yeah, manual sync works for me. It's fine.
Yeah,
And one more thing, like from all devices node under complaints, it's
yeah.
showing
This
not
is sync option.
not
Yeah, okay.
available.
I think. Sorry. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, Ram. What do
Yeah,
you?
under the devices and all devices node, we have complaints option, right? So it shows. So right here in your machine, it shows complaint. So for me, it's showing not complaint and not evaluate.
I think you already asked this question in the forum, right?
Yeah. So like
I replied
applications
also,
are
and I'm
getting
still waiting for your reply on that. Probably we can take your doubts over there rather than this is bit a different topic, right?
sure. Yeah, sure. Thanks, Anu.
Thanks.
Hi Anup. This is
Hi Anup sir, Dev this side. So, sir, my question is like in SSCM, like if something gets failed, we have logs to track that. So, if application getting failed while deploying through Intune, so is there any kind of a logs available that we can track?
Logs available which we can track? That is an interesting question. There's no logs for MDM, native MDM deployment, but you can go to event logs, right? I think you missed my initial some of the recordings probably, because I have explained over there. If you can go to event logs in the Windows 10 machine, right, there is a particular event for uh, MDM channel, right? So you can look into that event logs and you can find out what are the policies getting uploaded, or what are the policies getting applied on the machine and all, right? So probably you can refer to the previous recordings and you will come to know. Or
Sure, sir.
we will cover the troubleshooting also in the future sessions.
Sure, sir. Sure. I got it. Thank you.
Okay, no worries.
Hi Anup. Asad here.
Yep.
So one question, is this whatever we are uploading the files and in the Intune? And while deploying type, that file will get download locally in the system, or that will directly install from the Intune cloud if we are targeting any application deployment.
Say that again. Sorry. So I think your question is whether the file will get downloaded into Windows 10 device and get installed or not, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, normally it's the same mechanism, right? It should get downloaded into the Windows 10 machine and then it will get installed.
Okay, okay. And yeah, one more question, Anup. The last Friday I didn't get a chance to ask you, so I was having a one doubt in that conditional access and complaints policy. So
I think you can use forum. Please use forum, and I will be available to reply on that. Please, is that okay?
yeah, yeah, that's fine. Yeah,
Yeah.
no problem.
Sure. Thank you. And if you have questions in the chat window about login, remote, and all those things, right? You can please feel free to use forums, right? It will be helpful for us to track because otherwise, like I don't know like how many comments are there. I'm not able to see all the comments and I'm not able to reply all the comments at this moment, right? So I can take last question if you have any urgent question. Otherwise, like we will see tomorrow.
Anup,
Anup, can
hi,
you
this
touch
is Param
upon?
here.
Yeah, go ahead, Param.
Yeah. So do we have any scenarios like when we should go for a user-based deployment or when we should go for a device-based deployment of any applications?
It's entirely depends on your organization, right? So there should be like probably there is easy to get the user list for the deployment for some particular application, or you need to get if you there are some limitations as I mentioned in Intune Azure AD dynamic groups, right? You cannot compare it with SCCM WQL query based dynamic collections, right? So depending on that, you need to decide which is the best possible way for your organization to deploy application, right? If you can create dynamic groups based on some properties or attributes of the device, and you would be able to find out a department or something like that from the uh, device object, then you can deploy to the device group, right? For example, if you have an HR department and all the HR department devices should get a particular application, right? In that case, Azure AD dynamic group scenario, it would be difficult to get those device names from Azure AD automatically, right? Or you
Correct.
cannot create so in that case you can use Azure AD user dynamic groups, and you can see like what are the options to add, right? You
Okay.
can
Okay.
select HR department over there. Based on department, you can select you can create a dynamic query.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
No
So,
worries.
Anup, in this same regards, do you think Microsoft is moving ahead from, pushing machines, pushing to machines rather than to users? Because the
Yeah, this
strategy.
so it's not about Microsoft, right? It's about the vendors, right? So if you are from a packaging background, you know like there are licensing impacts, there are MSIs which are created for systems, there are MSIs which are created for users, right? And the biggest part for the organization or pain for the organization is always license, right? We can deploy all the applications to all the devices, that should not be a problem, right? And we can deploy application to users, but the problem is if user is going to log in into a shared PC and those kind of then the license will be should be available in all many PCs, right? So this is basically licensing discussion and application development and packaging discussion rather than uh, Microsoft forcing us to use user-based deployment or machine-based deployment, right? This is my opinion. I could be totally wrong, but this is my opinion, and that this is what we normally follow.
No, Parvin, here it is mentioned on the Google somewhere the available deployment entity is not supported for device group.
It's a
Only
Google or
I
it's
have seen on
Microsoft.
the Microsoft website somewhere yesterday as well, but currently I'm looking at the Google. It is clearly mentioned on the top. The available deployment intent is not supported for device group. Only users groups are supported.
Okay, so we will see tomorrow.
So in the meantime, I'll try to get this information from Microsoft website as well.
Okay, thank you, Arvind.
Yeah, more of Anup, there is no easy way to get the device like in normal hybrid scenario where you have a lot of OUs and you could do query.
Hmm.
But in cloud, it's more of it's in cloud, so there is no easy way to find device rather than users.
So that is why you need to use autopilot, right? So in autopilot scenario, you can add some particular custom attributes to device, and based on custom attributes, you can create a dynamic query. So this is the normal practice for the autopilot scenarios, right? So probably you need to look into that. Does that
Okay,
make
so
sense?
there are ways. Yeah, you mean. Yeah.
So have you seen this organizational relationship in Azure AD? So this is a tip, right? So if you are worried about there's no OU structure in Azure Active Directory, so Microsoft is coming up with something like this organizational relationship, right? So this is similar to OU structure, but this is not exactly OU, and we will see more about this from Microsoft on this in the future. Okay, so thank you all for joining in, and we will see you tomorrow, same place, same time. If you like the session, please share the videos. Please help us and ask all the questions in the forum, so it would be easy to track. Thank you all. Bye bye.
Thanks, Anup.
Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thanks, Anup. Bye.